that person is going to one or two places. And a lot of us will leave here and we don't want to pray that God will give us and reveal us in our hearts a love for the lost people. Because that puts us where we have to care about where they go. That puts us in a position like we maybe have to go talk to them. I don't want that. I ain't praying that. I'm too busy. I got an hour to go grocery shopping. That hour is my hour to get away from the kids, get away from whatever. We need to start praying that God will give us a supernatural awareness of the condition of the lost. That's why we're here. That's why God's not done using us. It's because He wants to reach someone with you. That's the bottom line. And we have to wake up and start realizing the condition of the lost people all around us. Wherever it's at. Work, home, grocery store, gas station, everywhere. There are lost people everywhere. We have 1,000 churches in this town, and there's lost people still everywhere. And you're in this town. For it to be used in this town. Because if you weren't in this town, you'd be somewhere else being used for that town. Because God's already pre-appointed our positions and dwelling places. That's Acts. That's God. You're here for a reason. Something I have to try to swallow because I don't want to be here. But God wants me here. I have to be okay with that. Let's start praying that. Can we? And the second thing is, it says, we need to start praying that God will give us a sacrificial obedience to the commission of Christ. We need to start praying that God will give us a sacrificial obedience to the commission of Christ. Some of us are afraid to do something for God. Bottom line. But that's our purpose. I hated baseball for a couple weeks before games started. I hated it. I hated shaving, didn't even have any facial hair. Now I have to run, now I have to shave. We all shared one little shaver. I know it's gross, but we're like high school dudes. We're like, we just did it. I hated it. I hated shaving. I hated tucking my shirt in. I hated wearing the same socks as everybody. I hated wearing the same hats. I hated having to get haircuts so my hair wasn't above my ears, because right there, like, Bieber was cool and I wanted long hair and I couldn't have it. And all these different things. I hated it. I hated the process. But when we were standing at home plate receiving the state championship trophy, I loved the process. I loved it. I said, yeah, Coach, I'll shave right now. Where's the shaver at? I'll cut my hair right now. We just won. I'll do whatever you say. I just won. Sometimes the process is worldly hard. Sometimes the process makes us go talk to people we don't want to go talk to. Sometimes the process makes us have to love people who have done everything in their power not to love us or deserve our love. But sometimes the process is hard. But if we are focused on things that are eternal and not things that are temporary, is the process not worth it? And we got to pray for that. We got to pray for direction like that. We got to pray that our hearts are broken for the lost people. And we got to pray that God would take our little baby faith, like the disciples. Like, God, the water is coming into the boat and you're sleeping. They're with Jesus, by the way. I mean, Jesus, the person who heals people, casts out demons, and the water is coming into their boat. And they're like, God, save us. Do you not know who I am? Why are you afraid? We have to take our little tiny baby faith, like the disciples, our little tiny baby faith that we have. But we got to pray that God will grow that. So we can stop being scared of things that are temporary. Stop being afraid of things that we have no right to be afraid of. God has so much more for us. For me, stop being afraid that you won't pay your house off and pay your student loans off and all of this stuff that I let myself just be tempted into and I fall into it. Stop, Joe. We got to stop being afraid of things that are temporary. Where's our faith? So the challenge today is, can we start praying God would change our hearts and make us into fearless followers. That was his prayer for the disciples. That's what he was trying over years to get through their thick skulls. And then it wasn't until he just died and then rose from the grave, like, oh, we believe now. Because, we all would. We saw that. But it's the same thing that he's trying to... We need to become fearless followers. And the only way for that to happen is through our faith starting to grow. Life is never going to get easier. We talked about that last week. You're not going to leave here and think, okay, I'm going to follow God and life's going to be easy. Because that's not one of the promises that we just talked about. God doesn't say, if you follow me, it'll be a problem-free life. You're never going to go through any problems. Just go do this and go do that. That's a little bit like magic. There's these little guys that are called St. Joseph that these people will buy for $6.95 on Amazon. And if their house won't sell, they'll go bury it in their front yard. You know what I'm talking about? Don't agree if you know what I'm talking about, because we know you believe in magic. I'm just kidding. But there's these little things that they bury in the front yard, and then what happens? Their house sells. So what do? They go tell everybody they know that if they buy this little St. Joseph and bury him in the front yard, their house will sell. And then more people do it. Because here's the thing. Magic works some of the time. It does. It just happens. And if I would tell you guys that, okay, if you don't have a job and you're looking for a job, and you would wear whatever job you want, you would wear that clothes, and you would go out on your porch and you would read the first chapter of the book of Job, that in 2 weeks, that's a joke, in 2 weeks, thank you, in 2 weeks you would have a job. And if I told you that, and I said, if you go, dress to impress, dress for the job that you want, go out on your front porch, read the first 2 chapters of the book of Job, in 2 weeks, I would probably get an email or a text message that someone got a job from doing that. And what I would do is I would come back to this church, I would read you that email or that text message, and I would tell you, this is what happened, this is what they did, and someone else who doesn't have a job could do it, and it would work. I would write a book, make millions, quit my day job. Because magic works some of the time. And following Jesus is not a promise like that your life is just going to be this glory and glam, and that's not what following Jesus is about. It's not magic. It's not do these things and this will happen. Guaranteed. $6.99. That's not what following Jesus is about. So we can't think we leave here and we leave here, we start reading our Bibles more consistently. We start praying these prayers that are really relational. Because you know that like Jesus listens, right? You know that, like, let's stop real quick. You know that Jesus wants you to talk to Him? So instead of just praying before you meal, you probably pray all the time. So let's say we start praying the way we're supposed to be praying. Let's say we start reading our Bibles the way we're supposed to be reading our Bibles. And then all of a sudden, something happens at work. Maybe we get let go. Or maybe a situation with family, something happens poorly. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. But some people, what happens is they say, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. Because obviously following Jesus is not worth it. Because I'm too wrapped up on how these temporary things are going in my life that I don't even want to keep following. You can't believe that following Jesus is all of a sudden these good things are going to happen. Here you go. You're going to go. You start like, okay, I'm going to pray. I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to go buy a lottery ticket. I'm going to win. My whole life's just going to be perfect because I started following Jesus. That's not what we are called to do. He's telling the disciples in here, you will be flogged. You will be in prison. You are going to go through hard things. They're going to kill all of you. They're going to kill all of you. And he says, oh, wait. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because guess what? I'm going to be there. Focus on things that are eternal, not temporary. It's the same calling that's on our lives. To become fearless followers. Let's pray. God, we love you. I just pray that you would continue to break my heart. I pray that you continue to reveal your promises in your word. I pray that you would motivate this group of believers, motivate this group of followers to stop being caught up in temporary things and start focusing on things that are eternal. God, I pray that you save us. If anyone in this room doesn't know you as a personal Savior, God, I pray that today, right now, you would just convict their heart. And they would come to a knowledge and belief of who you are. God, I pray that you motivate us, give us the courage and strength that it takes to go out to a dark world that hates you and be a fearless follower and really reach our city, our family, our workplace. God, I pray that you just bring us back tonight, motivated and on fire to hear from you again. We love you. Ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Stand, please. Turn to page 275. Dismiss us in prayer.
We thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for this time we have in your house, Lord, under your word. Lord, just well in our hearts the word this day, and just let us be better witnesses for you as we go about our way. God, we pray for that. We care for you, praise and honor. In Jesus' name we do that. Amen.
Amen.
Choir practice at 5:15 if you want to help.